Hey YouTube, this is David, Richter Scale Studios. Getting back to painting. Got the stitches out, got the brace off during the day when I don't want it, so I can have a little more free play with my wrist. Hand feels a lot better, no more numbness. We're on part 6 of the Tale of Two Dreadnoughts. As you can see, most of all the battle damage is done on the bodies and the legs of both. And I am right now, I was wanting to, because I have this guy glued. This was like a redo. I stripped him, but I've never took him off the base and kind of did that. Then I had this is one of the bases I made with a custom slate out of the Sculpey, Super Sculpey carving. And then I took all those nibs off the bottom. And I just went downstairs on my Rockwell Blade Runner. I got some sheet metal. I don't know, this is about 32nd of an inch, probably. Cut it, so I just took a blank 60 millimeter base, made something that can fit in there nicely, and I'm going to make sure it goes into a diamond shape on this end right here, so that his feet will hit there. I got some, I believe they're 16th by quarter inch magnets. These are the rare earth. They stick really nice to that, and let's do a test right here. I haven't even tested it through the plastic yet. So let's see. Yep. Oh, so you can hear that. You heard the click right away, and it's holding it. So that should not be a problem. Even that's what those, probably got, what, a 1/8 of an inch nib on the bottom of these things. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to mix up some of this 5-minute cure epoxy. So I get a nice, good adhesion. And then we'll be back. This will all be part of part 6, so we'll just come back in a minute. And by then, I'll have this secured in the bottom of this base. And then I'm going to super glue some magnets in his feet. You won't see those anyways. I might have to come back and maybe paint them, but we'll see. But we'll come back in a minute, and we'll show you what's going on. Thanks for joining me. Hey, we're back real quick. I see I just made a big old glob of the 5-minute epoxy right there on my little cardboard thing, and I got a little popsicle stick to mix it with. And I got this setting in there, nice and tight. And then I actually, instead of using super glue, I went in with the epoxy and went on just to put those in. It'll give a nice solid bond. So I'm going to let this dry for the next 5 minutes, which is stuff I love about the 5-part epoxy. I use a 15 for really hardcore stuff, but I think this should work okay. And we can always go back to it. It's not, because it's part of the model that you're not going to see anyways. So let's let this cure, and then we'll come back and I'll test this out and see how it looks. Thanks for joining me. Well, we got it magnetized, but I had one problem. That sheet metal through the plastic and the sand and all that did not work. I had one thing to save me, was I have these 1/2 inch by 6 inch magnets I just put on the bottom, and probably the area where it'll stand most is either that way, no problem, or maybe this way a little, because you can see more of the dreadnought, and that's no problem. In the future, what I will do, which will work perfectly, if I show you this real quick, sheet metal on these magnets directly, not a problem. I mean, this thing will clamp down and you can shake it and it won't come off. I will have to integrate the sheet metal into the top of the base and then do some kind of topping on it and goop it, and that'll save the use of these other magnets. But I am not going to tear this apart, and this is working good right now. So that'll be something for everyone to learn by, and I learned by that. And probably a lot of people already knew that. But get this guy together real quick. So that works though. So that's not going to come off. And let's compose them a little bit. I'm going to still do some little more stuff on this base. When I add some skulls and maybe a little something else. You never know. So thank you for joining me in part 6 here. And let's see if we can see some more. This is, I haven't showed you guys, this is the damage I've done on him. So that's the area where you can put the light on. It'll cover that up. And then you can see there's just a little bit of damage all over. And then the feet, let's see if we get some light in there. And we haven't done an oil wash, I haven't done any of the metallics on the bodies themselves. I still have to do a lot of the damage here, over on the weapons and the paper plate over there. And that's probably what I'm going to be working on for part 7, or maybe I'll keep continuing this on, maybe see if I can show you how I do some of the battle damage. It's real simple, 3 colors. I'm using a light blue. I'm using Reaper paints now. Since I was painting at my local game store, I have a light blue. Instead of dark flesh, I'm using chestnut, and I'm using a app on my iPhone. It's a paint thing. I will put that on up here, what to search for on iTunes for a use of that. And then I'm using a mixture of brilliant blue instead of the imperial blue, and then this is regular black, and that's for the top part of the damage where it's sunk in, the sun's not hitting it. Light blue for where the sun hits it, and that is for the undercoat or rust, where you want to do with it. And then come back down. This is one of the triads. I can come in and highlight it with some rust brown, and then I'll probably do some metallics in there too, in some of the spots where it looks like fresh damage. And I've been trying to do the damage on that white too. That's a gray with a white, and then having the rust under the chestnut brown inside of there. So as usual, thank you for joining me, and we will see you in the next part. Thanks.